Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brother podcast. This is season 4, episode 1, a Dewey Brothers production behind bars. I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
How you doing, Eric? We have been at this moment denied. We can't come up with the bail. We need, how much was it that they said? Because they said we were dangerous criminals for spreading
false information
and illegally using pirate, unregistered pirate radio transmissions.
So they posted our bail at $8 billion or 28,000 schmeckel badoodas.
Ooh, 28,000 schmeckles.
No. Schmeckel badoodas, Alex.
So you're telling me we can't sell pitchforks to raise that sort of money? Because I know a pitchfork guy.
I mean, you would think. However, it's actually really unfortunate because the Schmeckel Badoodah, it hasn't been in printing. It hasn't been minted in the last 8,000 years.
When was the last time a Schmeckel Badoodah has ever been standard currency for any country?
So in the little country of Badoodah Schmeckel, it actually is their main currency.
That was a small principality in the Alps, I believe, right?
Yes, it was a 2-hamlet village, and they only used.
That was a lot of hamlets back then, by the way.
Oh, of course, they only used Schmeckel Badoodahs to do any business transactions, and so I don't understand why the MACC. We did go to an MACC courthouse, so I think they were a little ruthless there, and our lawyer was not good. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, he is from Badoodah Schmeckel, the small principality, and he's also he's a self-proclaimed freedom fighter. We found him while we were on the DL. He's been our lawyer for 2.5 months, so maybe that has to do with it. Maybe they're legally required to put it in our lawyer's home currency.
I think that might be something, but
we also restructured our program when our company, Dewey Brothers Ltd. Limited, trademark TM.
Of course.
We restructured it in the country of Badoodah Schmeckel. So maybe that's why it's also in that currency, come to think of it.
I mean, that would make sense. However,
we're also, I believe the MACC is also going to refer us, if we don't cooperate, to the, who does the taxes?
The IRS.
The IRS for a lot of tax fraud, but we haven't made any money on this podcast, so I don't know if we've committed any.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right to me. I definitely would personally announce all of the income that I get, but so far we're sitting at 0. So if you guys can just write,
if you have any Schmeckel Madoodahs lying around, please send them our way, because that seems to be the exchange rate, by the way, is 5,000 Schmeckel Madoodahs to 1 USD. They're very hard to get. They're nearly worthless, but they're very hard to get.
The actual value is nothing. It's just they're basically a collector's item at this point. But
well, they're worth their raw weight in nickel, which is what they're made out of. It's actually a very interesting alloy of both nickel and lead.
Alex,
which is why they're illegal in the United States, because they pose a choking hazard for small children.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to say something about how it's not actually the metal nickel. It's actually just melted down U.S. nickels.
Yeah, but mixed in with lead.
Yes.
They've been doing them that way since the 60s.
Very, very dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
But so Badoodah Schmeckel, we're here. You'd think that it was excessive bail, but I don't know. They really said that we pose such a danger to the innocent young minds.
Oh yeah, they said that we needed to cease our broadcasting immediately, and that it was corrupting too many young minds, especially with those raunchy podcasts.
You know it. So that's why we are. The only way that they're letting us do this is to have a full kid-friendly season. So we're gonna really strive for that, because I know it might pain me a little that we can't say what we want to say, but we're gonna help the kids, and I love podcasting, and it's the only way we can do it from behind bars.
and this is going out through the MACC censure, so you may hear lots of beeps in this season's podcasts.
That is very, very true. All right, Alex. I think we got to start with our main topic. What are we talking about today?
Well, our main topic today, Eric, is none other than George Anderson. As a matter of fact, I saw his corpse being wheeled through the prison earlier today.
Yeah,
Um,
so George Anderson, funny enough, he was in this poor little maximum security prison, and I think he was just used as a rag doll. It was very brutal, but there was that special room called the beating up George Anderson room. I think it was designed just to like have all the inmates really get out all their anger and frustration onto a unsuspecting body.
Absolutely. So he was an actor, for those of you that don't know. He was born March 6th, 1886, and died in New York City, and died in London, England, in 1948 at the age of 62. And he was an active actor from 1915 all the way up until his death at the
Hmm.
age of 62 in 1948. He made his Broadway debut, Eric. You won't believe this. August 5th, 1907, as the star of an original musical called The Time, the Place, and the Girl.
Ooh, he
Hmm.
was good. He was good. I will say.
I
I
mean, he was
mean,
in 74 films and 25 Broadway productions.
oh yeah, absolute genius when it comes to, theater. But I don't understand. I think he had a few suspect lines, and I believe that a lot of his work has now been deemed what is it, canceled, and that's why the MACC preserved his body and kept it in the beat up George Anderson room.
Absolutely. For example, Christmas in July 1940 as Mr. Jenkins uncredited. I think we can all agree that that is.
That role was that was like career suicide. I mean, the
Mm,
way that he was uncredited and just in the background, it was I yeah, no, it was heebie-jeebies, man.
the Major and the Minor 1942, Train Passenger with Esquire magazine uncredited. I mean, come on, the man needs credit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he just didn't want his name out there, but everyone still knew what he was doing, and so it was very dangerous times to be George Anderson.
The Argyle Secrets, his final film, Alan Pierce, probably murdered because of it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
It says there's no way he died. So it just says he died. It doesn't describe how he died. So I think it was probably murder by jealous actors. I mean, he was only 62.
Sounds good to me. All right, Alex, that's all the time we have. We only have so much internet bandwidth here allotted to us, and we got to keep the pace going. So I think it's time to hop into our new segment called Behind the Bars, where we go into our inner machinations of our mind and really lay out these beautiful poems that we have created for you that are influenced by the prison we are in.
Eric, the other day at the cafeteria, I
Hmm.
saw some inmates had snatched some butter and greased up the hallway just outside,
Yeah, that was wild.
and they were sliding lunch trays down towards targets on both ends. I thought it
Hmm.
was wild. And it inspired me I don't know about you, it inspired me to write a poem about curling.
That is crazy because I had the exact same idea. I was like, you know what I really feeling this week? Curling. I need it. I miss the real stuff, but prison curling, it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not so bad. The real trick is you got to try and read the butter just right because prisoners are terrible at buttering a sheet, let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, it's always different, always wacky.
Down in the comments below this here podcast, we also need to know who wins these here uh, poetry offs because both of us have handwritten some original works, and I think we should make it a competition of sorts, Eric.
Oh yeah, let's. I think you can go first. What did you prepare for us tonight?
All right, this one is called Bedford Curling Club. You ready for my piece of art here, Eric?
Oh, I am.
Curling is a sport most absurd that they play up in Bedford, where they slide their stones far, but keep it close to the bar, for curling sober is entirely unheard.
That was good. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Really makes me miss crossing the border up into up in the Great White North there.
Yeah, that's my
So
poem.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, but just you
Thank you.
wait for I'm dropping Eric's famous double haiku. That's right, 2
Ooh,
haikus, not just one. It is curling time. No one's ready for this. Manitoba Tuck!
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's the
And
first IQ.
I approached the sheet. Brooms and stones ready to go. Oh no! Hard! Yes! Sweep!
Wow, that double haiku was amazing, Eric. The first one, I was like, whoo, did not see the Manitoba Tuck coming.
No one is ready for the Manitoba Tuck.
It
And
is such a
then,
precarious move.
unfortunately, the second one you really see how you need practice and you need to get ready for curling because my stone was just too slow. So I
He was
really
coming
had
in.
to.
He was coming in slow, so that yeah, the skiff
I
was.
needed my boys to really
Mhm,
sweep it hard.
yeah, absolutely. You really need a rock down skiffing the end of your sheet to make sure that that your sweepers can really get the correct instructions, right?
Oh my gosh,
Mhm,
of course,
yeah.
but yeah. So everyone, please let us know what you thought of our this week's installment of Behind the Bars.
Down below, we need a behind the bars winner. Um, so get down there and tell us which of you are the double haiku or the Bedford Curling Club limerick. Pick one. They're great. Let us know down below. With that, Eric, our internet's running out here, so I managed to smuggle in a question from outside the clink. You got one too?
I also was able to smuggle in a really cool question. So I think I might ask you mine first.
All
This
right,
is this is the user Goofy Goober, and they're
Goofy Goop.
asking if you could fight anyone in the world, who would it be? Any Y. I think that's a typo. It says any Y instead of and Y, but any Y.
Okay, so if I could fight anyone in the world,
Mm-hmm.
any Y,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty simple, Eric.
I mean I know who I'm saying.
I am gonna fight. Obviously, it jumps right out of the mind.
Yep.
I'm gonna fight Jefferson Steel Flags of the
Ooh.
uphill downhill fame
Oh my goodness. Oh,
because I think I can
really?
take him. Yeah. So like the other day, I saw him doing some practice runs. Okay, on TV, and I was like, what is that? Canadian timber chopper? Like, oh come on, dude. I'm way better than you. So I think I could take him. Like, what is he? Just a professional uphill downhill racer and 3 times uphill downhill national champion? Like,
I mean he's no Von Wiener, so
yeah, that Von Sausage Wiener, dude. I
Von
mean,
Sausage Wiener.
he's the
That's what
German
I meant.
national champion and 2-time world
But
champion. So
so I would definitely not want to fight Von Sausage
absolutely
Wiener.
not. Like, I can't take him. But Jefferson Steel Flex,
I
yeah.
think he's washed up.
Oh, I think so too. Like I said, man. After that Canadian tree chopper, I was like, like, come on, anyone can do that.
Like, come on, don't even bring it about here. All
I
right,
know.
yeah, no, that's fair. See, I know who I'm gonna fight, man.
All right, who you fighting?
That prick, George Anderson. Like, who does
Oh
he think he
no.
is? He's out here, he's like being all, hey, I'm George Anderson, respectable actor and theater goer. And I'm like, whoa, George Anderson, you are not okay. I'm gonna beat you up for all of the terrible things you said in the 40s. And he's like, oh no, and I'm like, pop, 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 pop. And that'll teach him.
The Palm Beach story as the gent. I mean,
Oh my
ridiculous.
god, like the nerve. Like who would say yes to being something like that?
Yeah, California in 1947. Think about all the minor crimes he committed while being a minor.
It's absurd. It's not right. And the way that he like, I'm pretty sure that he was glorified on Broadway, and
Oh, and Eric,
that's just not okay.
don't even get me started on the Bride Wore Boots 1946. Judge won. We know that judge was corrupt.
Oh my gosh, the corruptness. Unlike any MACC judges out there that are definitely not corrupt in the slightest and
Definitely not.
only have the
Super
best
fan.
intentions.
Hmm.
We got to get out on parole somehow, man.
So Goofy Goober, those are the people that we would fight for sure. I got a question here, Eric, off the Twitter sphere, because like the people need questions from the internet. It's what they need.
Mm-hmm.
It's Zach McKnight at Zach McKnight 15. He
Okay.
says, "I just saw a in quotes pest control truck, and their logo was a sad lobster trapped in the cage. First of all, when the heck has a lobster ever just wandered into someone's house? I'm so confused."
So it's crazy because you know when you go around to the grocery stores and they have the
Hmm.
little lobsters.
Yeah,
Grocery stores are actually pet stores, and a lot of
I
people
did not know that.
they bring home those lobsters and try and take care of them. However, they don't realize how hard it is to take care of a lobster, so they just release it into the wild, and that's why we have a a lobster infestation, man.
Well, I heard, Eric, that exactly, like obviously a lobster is a lot of responsibility and not all families are equipped to have them, but the grocery store just keeps like selling them constantly. So what people will do is they will flush them down the toilet
Yeah.
or like they'll escape into the sink and then
Hmm.
you have lobsters gumming up the whole sewer system.
And the thing is, it's mainly because a lot of these people they think that, oh, my I have my kitchen koala, helping out killing all the eucalyptus, but they think, oh yeah, the koala will also let me know if the lobster tries to escape. But no, the koala and the lobster are in cahoots, and that's why the lobster is actually an invasive species of the U.S. And
Oh, it's a big problem.
they have no natural predator on land, and they run amok, and that's why they are pests. It's often looked, not
Well, they do
seen, but
have one natural predator, which is the owl, but I think releasing owls into our houses would be an even bigger problem.
well, I don't want it to be the future where we have to call up the owl exterminators when
That
there's
would be
pellets just everywhere.
Oh, that would be a problem. There's nothing worse than pellets coming out of the siding. That would be a dystopian future for sure.
That would be, I mean, lobsters, I'm okay with the occasional pinch, but I don't want to see no owl pellets, that's for sure.
Exactly. So Zach McKnight, that is a serious problem, and make sure that if you want to adopt one of these troubled crustaceans, that you have the correct tank. About 2 liters. Metal tank on the stove is the
Mhm.
appropriate place to house your lobster. And then just turn on that jacuzzi. They love it in there.
All right, Alex. The guards are they're coming over to us. Hey, hey, you guys! You've used up at least 17 minutes and 50 seconds
We haven't used more than like four
of
four
internet.
gigabytes, man.
No, no, guys, come on! It's
Whoa,
it's
man,
not
you
that big deal.
guys
Oh, it's a big
turning it
deal, all
off.
right. I'm gonna show you the big deal. Bop, 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 bop.
Ooh,
Ow,
ow.
ow, 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 ow.
All right,
Oh,
Eric, we
oh,
got to thank our
Alex,
sponsors real
Alex.
quick.
Well, we gotta thank our sponsors while we're getting beat. Oh, oh.
This week's podcast brought to you by grocery stores, your premium, high quality pet distributors. That's right, grocery stores.
And I have to thank the sovereign double hamlet location in the Alps of Bad Schmeckel.
This podcast it could not have been put on without Bedford Curling Club. One of these days, we will be free of coronavirus, and then we will go back up.
This podcast is also brought to you by the invasive species list, now including lobsters.
This podcast is, as always, brought to you by Homegrown Hops. I think when the spring comes around, they might even bust us out of this joint. Those grow through the floor because they are super strong. Homegrown hops.
And of course, we couldn't have done it without our funding from Jefferson Steel Flex and the entire team putting on the uphill downhill.
Absolutely. With that, it's time to wrap up this edition of Ow, gosh darn it. Ooh, ow. Oh, I'm wrapping it up, man. Mom, I need 5 more minutes,
You can't
Mom.
turn off online
Of
games, Mom.
this
You can't pause online games.
just doing it, Do Me Brothers podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
And for the love of God, man.
Just send it. All right, buddy. Next time you send it, you're going downtown.
Mom, you can't turn off online game.
My team needs me.
I saw you're playing Civilization. You can pause that shit. Oh no, Mom's on.